Port Erie isn't a company that typically seeks media attention. In fact, we're far more likely to avoid it. But this is just such a fun story to tell. It's not often that a manufacturer gets to partner with a Hall of Fame quarterback and at the same time win production back from China. I won't go into any more details than that. The Port Erie person here best suited to tell this story is a guy who's been a lifelong Bills fan and whose office is a shrine to the Bills and Sabres. So I'd like to introduce our president, John Johnson.
First, I'd like to start, though, tell you maybe how this project all came to being. It was back in May of this year that an individual that's here today by the name of John Cunningham, longtime friend of Port Erie Plastics, called and said, hey, I've got this project you guys might be interested in. You want to take a look at it? He described it. I'm like, wow, that, it really sounds like something for China. Then he told me who was behind it. Being a Bills fan, I said, well, we got to look at it. So, we brought it in here, took a good look at it. Really took an aggressive, creative effort from our engineering group, automation guys, tool room, our assembly, decorating people. The biggest key, though, was when the engineers came and said, listen, we think we found this pad printing machinery of Vermont. They came out with an F-jet flatbed inkjet printer. Well, what this machine does, it allows us to print over 200 discs, both sides, in less than 5 minutes. Now that is much, much quicker than traditional pad printing, hot stamping, any sort of decorating that had been around in the plastics industry before. Great quality, you can print right to the edge of the disc, and they're dry immediately to go ahead and use. So it doesn't matter if we're running 20,000 of these discs for the Buffalo Bills or Duck Commander, which we just did, or we're running 600 of these for Cathedral Prep. We were able to deliver a competitive product here at a much better quality than China and on a timely basis, keeping good jobs and good product here at Port Erie Plastics and in the States as opposed to being over in China. Lastly, as a 25-year Bill season ticket holder, lifetime fan, I am very honored to introduce our next speaker here. Certainly one of my heroes. I can't believe this here. And at the same time, someone that I can now call a friend and a business partner as well. Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly and president of MyFanClip.
Have anybody ever seen the movie Tommy Boy? When Dan Aykroyd gets up and speaks about his auto parts? Man, I was going right there. I thought, man, I'm watching Tommy Boy again. The whole team here at Port Erie Plastics, just watching how everybody is dedicated, how everybody works very hard, and the blue-collar ethic that I was raised on in East Brady, Pennsylvania is right here. If you want something, you got to work at it. This, to me, is a quality product, a great staff that they've put together and are committed to making sure once it leaves here that whoever receives it will look at it with a big smile on their face and know that it came from right here in the United States and not across seas in China. But from the manufacturing to the customer service to engineering, some of the things we saw earlier, probably 5-6 months ago, trying to figure out how we can do this, how we can do it and be effective of making the product quicker and having the same quality, and they were able to do that. I'm going to tell you really the quick story on how I came up with this idea. It's interesting because I never was a wallet guy. When I was in college, I hated wallets. I always carried my money, maybe because I went to the University of Miami, I carried my money in my front pocket and not in the wallet in the back. But I used a rubber band, and that rubber band kept breaking. Now I'm sure there's people in here, and I've already met a couple that still use the rubber band, but after today, you will not. But those kept breaking. And then of course, my wife likes to shop, and she went into a grocery store, and the asparagus, the rubber bands are a little thicker. Well, they didn't quite work either, so I went to the black binder clip. And after I used the black binder clip, I started seeing other people use it, and I'm thinking, man, what if you would put your favorite team's logo on, or maybe decorate it, make it look nicer, like a Buffalo Bill or a New York Yankee, Red Sox, or your high school team, or for me, my college team. So I started asking more people, And the more people I asked, the more said, wow, what a great idea. And then, of course, we started asking about pricing and things like that, just trying to get it in our mind. Then I went to a few members of my son's foundation's board called Hunter's Hope. And I asked a couple of board members what they thought about this, because I was thinking about giving a portion of the proceeds back to Hunter's Hope. And they're like, what a great idea. The evolution of going from the rubber band to the black binder clip to now to making this MyFanClip, I said, why not do it? We presented it to the NFL, and of course they said, wow. So we went from the NFL, we got Major League Baseball, we got NHL, we got college licensing, we have NASCAR. We have 7 of the top NASCAR drivers. And when you think about NASCAR, you think of Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson, and Matt Kenseth. We get all of them, which is pretty cool. We just signed a deal with Duck Commander. Who doesn't watch Duck Dynasty nowadays? And who doesn't know from Phil to Willie to all the guys to Cy? But I'm just excited to be part of and teaming up with Port Erie Plastics with Bill and John and his organization, his company, and bringing this product to the United States.